Hello and welcome to another Nerds of the Decade, right, Dante?
Episode number 16.
Yep, episode 16. So, dude, let me ask you something.
Oh, you let me ask you something.
What?
Where are we at with the podcast? How you want to start the podcast?
I don't know, dude. I was thinking to ask you that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna ask you that.
All right. So, yep. Basically, guys, welcome to number 16. And as you can see, we were finally able to get our sound effects working. We had it in the recent removal, and we're also gonna fix that one too. But recently, in our studios episode,
we gotta do a reshoot on that one. Actually,
yeah. Apparently, we gotta do a reshoot. So
because we had a problem with our soundboard during that shoot, so we had to cut it. We had to stop it, right, dude? And then so.
That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, so we had a major failure and we had to stop. So we got to do a reshoot to do to finish we shot part of it, but we need to finish it. So, dude, wait, what episode was that one? That was what?
That one was, it wasn't really an episode, it was actually a studios episode.
Yeah, you're right,
it was a review.
Yeah, it was a studios episode.
On this particular episode, we are going to be talking about Slapstick comedy.
Yes, that is also a touchy subject for me. So
depending on who you ask, it's a very touchy subject.
Yes, yeah, a touchy subject for everybody, especially if you're picky about your entertainment or your shows or the quality of your shows. It can be very hard to try to watch,
or basically the direction of what shows are heading.
I realize now that I am a very story focused individual. So when I watch a show, my big thing is story, and so if there's no story and it's just all slapstick comedy, that really annoys me to the point where like I don't want to watch it if it's just gonna be all silly craziness. You have to have some story. Like, it's fine if it's mixed in, and as long as you don't go too far with it, that's cool. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
But when they go over the hill, like get it over the hill.
Really, over the hill.
Finish him.
Yeah. He's
over the hill. Yeah. When they go over the hill with it, and it's just like every 5 seconds, or it's just like every time somebody gets like knocked across the universe or whatever. That to me is just like, it's bothersome, it's annoying, it's
so basically I think what might be going on is the fact that now that you've now that you're a little older and you're a little more experienced in terms of anime, you're basically looking for something.
It's more of a refined taste.
That's going to give you that action, that vibe,
dude.
That maybe what you were looking for.
Should I hit the button, Dante?
Almost.
No.
Almost, yeah. But yeah, we'll
I'll save that one for
another time. We'll save it for later.
I was gonna because that would have been a good time.
I know, right?
We'll save that one for later.
Yeah, definitely. But
I guess
you're pretty much looking for something that's gonna
over 9,000.
That's gonna give you that something that'll energize you, something that'll give you that feeling, that excitement, something that'll just charge you up like
like this,
like a Super Saiyan or something like that.
I guess so.
Exactly.
So, dude, I was gonna say the other thing. I was gonna say
almost basically something that's gonna, like pretty much.
I was gonna say over 9,000, dude.
I guess in a certain case, you're almost kind of looking for a story that's basically going to make that's basically going to give you like a.
What does the scouter say about his power?
What does the story say about his power level? Exactly.
Yeah, basically that's pretty much what you're looking at, because now that you're older and in terms of the anime that's coming out, not to say that it's anybody's fault.
True.
But I think now you're just in a position where you're looking for that excitement.
Quality over quantity. Throwback to
which we've talked about earlier.
Podcast episode.
Definitely, if you guys get a chance, definitely check that out.
And look, guys, we're not saying slapstick isn't good or that it's bad. It's just that it has to be used in a way where, where
it's got to be balanced.
Yeah, there has to be balance to it. So I think that's probably what. Do you think you'll in the write up that you have in front of us, Dante?
Yeah.
What did you say back when you wrote this? What did you say?
I actually wrote.
Because didn't you touch on key points in here that?
Yeah. In this particular one, I kind of broke down the how slapstick comedy started. Who started it, of course, and then kind of like the ins and outs, where it's put, how it's placed,
Yeah.
from classic to modern. So yeah, we can
Classic.
break down.
Yeah.
So basically, I wrote this back in.
Hey, dude, first I got something to say.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly. Yes.
But yeah, basically in this one, it pretty much states if you're an anime fan, then we're pretty sure you've seen this type of comedy before, mostly being within the confines of ecchi/harem section of the anime spectrum.
In other words, guys, all those sketchy / like half naked / like very scandalous anime shows that we know.
Pretty much any title from.
That we know you guys have been watching.
Pretty much any title from Sekirei to Love Ru.
Yeah, and also what's another one? Shoot, I'm trying to think. DxD, High School DxD. Yeah.
Now, High School DxD is somewhat of an exception. Somewhat.
True, it does have a good story in the background of all the scandally clad ladies.
Other than the
so.
studio chains,
Yeah.
the series is
And the art style, because the art style, they changed the art style with the other.
Yeah,
with the
they
next
changed it
episode.
after the second season.
Yeah,
'Cause-
so
which kind of made
disappointing.
a little upset.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it kind of made people feel.
Yeah, but see, dude, everybody was doing this when the new season came out.
I know, right?
So you know.
Yeah, so basically it was a whole lot of fun. But I would probably say for those who don't know what slapstick comedy is, don't worry, we're happy to tell you. It's basically a type of broad comedy with exaggerated physical activity that exceeds the boundaries that many would find in normal physical comedy. So basically what you were just touching up, like if a woman hits a guy and he goes flying like 50 miles an hour and she
Yeah.
just suddenly...
I know, really. Or she's like,
Finish him.
Yeah,
which is
basically.
terrible. Which it really should be if you think about it, right? Okay, if you think about that, right, it should be the opposite way around. The dude should be the one getting clocked because he's usually the one who you would least expect getting clocked. Should be the female getting clocked. Although if you think about that, that's also sexist.
Yeah,
so.
it's
Both ways are wrong. Let's put it that way.
yeah, basically both ways won't fly in America.
Yes.
So that's
Hey,
why-
dude, you know, we need a sound effect for the American thing. America.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have that
Dude,
yet.
do
Eventually we'll get that.
do your Obama, Dante. You should do your
Our
Obama.
fellow Americans,
This will not fly in America.
this will not fly in America.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's your American impression for the day. So yeah, actually, dude, if you think about it, slapstick comedy has a bit of history. Before it was used in many of the ecchi and harem genres that we know today.
What about Three Stooges? Suddenly, Judgy, the gate is locked.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Even
right.
before then, the first individual to actually use it was William Shakespeare.
Ooh, William Shakespeare.
Everything
He was
translates
shaking things
back-
up.
I know, right? Shaking
Hey,
things up.
wait, dude. I said shaking things up. Wait, where's the?
Yeah, apparently. And that was a really corny joke.
Hey, I can't help
But
it
it's
if I
funny,
tell some
though.
lame jokes.
Yeah, it's fine though. But yeah, it does have a bit of history, and it was pretty much used by William Shakespeare. He was basically the first person to ever do it.
I almost thought you were going to say William Shatner. For a second there.
I was basically the first person who invented slapstick comedy.
Dude, that's not bad.
It's amazing.
Dude, that's not bad. Do you deserve a round of applause?
Round of applause,
can
everybody.
Can we get a yeah? That was pretty good, dude.
That was
Anyway.
basically the only impression that I got for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, back then it was kind of used around like the 19th and 20th century. It was used in many of the old school cartoons. In fact, it was even used during. You remember Tom and Jerry?
Yes, I do.
Not the movie. Well,
I remember Tom and Jerry.
Not the current movie,
The
but I'm
original
talking about
anime.
the original
Yeah,
one.
yeah, the original one. Yeah.
oh yeah. So if you think about it, slapstick comedy back then it was kind of used, kind of like in a comedic fashion. It was kind of used back then.
Well, see, dude, that's changed though now. A lot,
Yeah, it has
because
changed.
Now they don't really
like the tonal meaning behind it has kind of shifted.
Yeah, and then also
As of late.
the way slapstick comedy is done now is, I would say it's gotten a little more violent now than it has back when they did. So, okay, let me kind of explain what I mean by
Yeah,
that.
elaborate.
So, when you look at like Three Stooges when you look at Three Stooges or like some of the old media content, Dante, with
Yep.
with slapstick comedy in it, like Tom and Jerry, right, or some other stuff. especially when it's like live action stuff, nobody actually got hurt. Nobody was actually getting injured. Which some people will argue that, okay, if it's animated and it's drawn, nobody's really getting hurt. But because of the way it's used and also the emotional piece that anime puts into their characters, you still end up feeling like you got slapped in the face, right? And depending on who you are and how you take that, it comes across, it comes across sometimes as more violent than what it actually might be, or it could come across as just kind of wrong in some cases, depending on who you're asking or who the audience member is or who's watching it. Especially if it's used a lot, it could come across as being rude or being mean or whatever the case might be. It might come across. So I feel like nowadays when you see slapstick comedy, right? It's not just, oh, oops, I dropped a pot on your head, or oops, I hit you with a hammer.
Oops,
or,
I dropped a pot on your head, and then I kicked you in the balls. As a result.
Yeah, now it's like, oops, I kicked you in the balls, then I dropped a pot on your head, then I threw you into space, and then when you came down, I punched you like 5 million times after that, and it was more like,
Finish him.
instead of a comedy move, it's more like I'm trying to kill you instead of, I'm trying to make this funny.
Right.
So yeah, or it's like, oops, I threw you out of a glass window, only on purpose.
and in some cases, there might even be there might even be a scene or a situation where a guy where a guy hits another guy and then he throws him into a pool of lava, and then all of a sudden he's all
Toasty.
So
that could
basically,
be too,
you kind of get the point.
And then, dude, you hear that sound effect at the end, dude. What's the one you always love?
He's just
No.
Like
I mean I mean the other one though. The one that you like. Not that one. Wait, where is it? It's the.
And we're also playing with the buttons while talking at the same time.
Yeah, dude. Where is it? Where's the one I'm thinking of, dude? I'm trying to think of it.
I don't know, but if we don't find it, we'll.
No, not that one. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's like that. He gets thrown into lava, and you just hear.
Exactly. But yeah, I would probably say, well, definitely. Back to slapstick comedy.
Dude, you forgot to do when you did Toasty, but.
Yeah. And eventually we'll get the hang of these buttons, but we're just also having fun while talking.
Yeah, sorry guys. The sound effects are addicting.
I know, right? But they do make the show kind of better. But
people want to. Hey, the audience asked for more comedy. They want us to make jokes.
Yeah, you want us. Yeah, so we don't have to be all semi-serious all the
It's
time.
like lighten up, dude. Sarah.
But yeah, dude, I would probably say that you got examples like Tom and Jerry.
What about Ed, Ed and Eddie?
Oh yeah, definitely Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
Basically anything in Ed, Ed and Eddie that's all around slapstick comedy.
Yeah, but so, dude, it's funny you say that because like Ed and Eddie is not just slapstick comedy, but it's also a play on words.
Yeah, it is.
And actually, it's funny because I just heard something about Ed and Eddie recently because they're saying that Sarah, the character Sarah in Ed and Eddie, she goes like above and beyond ridiculous. Especially because like when you look at her character, right, she's supposed to be a little sister, but she's the most annoying, most pain in the ass. Strongest little sister I have ever seen, okay? Because, like, not only does she always get her way, but she also always seems to win in, like, every scuffle they get into. And you're like, really?
It's cartoon logic.
Yeah, it's like, although in one time she doesn't win, which is a time when Ed gets angry. When Ed has
That's when he had that pebble in his shoe. I remember that episode.
So, and so that's fine in cartoons, and that cartoon. It's fine like Ed and Eddie because they are very, very cartoonish to where, like, they follow cartoon rules. Like, the main characters, Ed and Eddie, almost, even if they get beat up, like, really badly, they still are, like, next day, they're still doing the same damn scam, and didn't learn their lesson, right?
They didn't learn anything.
But with anime, when you put the emotional piece, and you put a more realistic, more detailed, kind of more, I guess, reality-type spin on it, right, with anime, then it really gets, you start to feel in a lot of the anime shows and a lot of anime, and that's what kind of bothers me about slapstick comedy and anime is that they sometimes, not all the times, I don't know who the show is aimed at or what audience they're at. They try to make anime like cartoons, like Ed and Eddie. They try to follow the same rules, right, as a regular cartoon.
Yeah, the translation is just going to be a little bit different, though.
That's not always the case because of the emotional piece. That emotional piece makes a big difference in your not only the tone of your characters and the attitude of your characters, but also how the slapstick comes across to you as well, right, dude?
Right.
Because if you say you got a really, really sad character, right? Like I'm talking like down the dumps, like he's bleeding, he's
Like
beat
he's
up,
just-
like exactly. He's really, really down, right? And then someone just comes along and just kicks the shit out of him, like for no reason. They're just like they start wailing on him with like a whip, and like they just kick the crap out of him. They pretty much
Finish him.
like Mortal Kombat, right? And it's like if you feel nothing, then there's something wrong with you, right? But if you actually feel something and it's an emotional scene where they put that emotional piece in there, like that's a pretty big deal. Even though it's a drawn character, you can argue with me all you want. Yeah, it's a drawn character. Yeah, he's not actually getting hurt. Blah blah. I heard it all before. But that emotional piece in there really makes a difference, and it can make you cry, or it can just make you be like, I'm gonna like. You're like, I'm gonna punch my screen. Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna punch my screen because like I'm pissed. You know, it's like my one of your heroes or the character you're rooting for, or just you felt something for that character. You're like, man, now I'm ticked. You just want to smash your screen.
Right.
You just wanna go, or you might want to do.
Just blast your screen away.
Yeah, so I mean, you may feel that way because you're like, hey, like, dude, like that was my character, that was like my dude, and like,
and then of course every now and then you'll get one of those people that goes,
What's up your butt?
exactly, yeah, that's probably our audience in this podcast. So in the comments, someone's like, what's up your butt? You know?
yeah, because but I think basically when it comes to like slapstick comedy, it kind of translates differently depending on how you look at it.
It also depends on the emotional piece in the show, what the
True.
show is trying to portray, what audience they're appealing to, what kind of emotions they're portraying, and also how they're using that. So
And I think also
and dude, there have been times where they've gotten it wrong.
yeah,
Very wrong.
where they kind of misfired.
Yeah, it's like whoops. It's like
Well,
flew
that
over.
didn't exactly turn out the way I thought it would.
You know what we need, Dante? We need like an airplane flying overhead. It's like up, it
Don't
flew
worry,
over his head.
we'll make sure we put that sound in, put that sound effect in the next time. But yeah, if you think about it, both slapstick comedy and anime fan service always seem like they're in cahoots whenever it comes to like your Ichi or harem titles.
I feel like they all kind of. I feel like what they do, and this is like a classic mistake, I guess, with the slapstick genre, is that it's the same dumb 2-bit joke every time. You know,
Same
dude walks in,
one-liners.
same one-liner, same stupid, same dumb, like, it's the same dumb scene that you can predict every time. You're like, oh, I know what's going to happen before it actually happens. Like, it's predictable.
So basically,
I
they
feel
pretty
like
much
it's a bad habit,
right.
dude. They fall into a bad habit.
They pretty much
Yeah.
they pretty much tell a joke and they think it's gonna be like this,
but it ends
instead,
up being
like this.
exactly.
Yeah,
it's just sad.
It just sadly doesn't
Yeah.
work out the way that you actually planned it.
Yep.
But yeah,
Dude, remind me, we had that abridged line to put in here too.
I know,
that,
right?
Oh, that's just precious.
oh, that's just
Vegeta.
precious.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure we add that in next time.
But no, yeah, I think you're right. I think it ends up that way, dude.
Well, basically, all I could say for slapstick comedy is if it's like used properly and like again, this kind of goes back to like the 4 things that could make or break and
But dude, you do have other titles, Dante, where like if they do get the comedy right, dude,
Right.
it's kind of like this.
yeah, it gets all funky with it.
Yeah, it gets funky, and it also can get funny. So
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, but it basically, I mean, have there ever been any titles that you've seen up to this point so far that have kind of balanced out that?
Gotten that funk feeling?
Well, not the
Well,
other
okay.
than Space Dandy, but
Okay,
yeah.
so there is one. Okay, there's one that really is really funky. Let me show it to you here on the screen, and I will tell you guys the
yeah,
title.
we'll probably be able to see it, but you guys probably won't be able
There's
to see it,
one of them
unfortunately.
there's one of them that I agree that totally gets really really funky, and it's actually kind of funny because you don't really. So the main guy is kind of a snob, which is actually the funny part of it. The main guy's he's rich and he's kind of this owner of this giant empire, right? And he has big plans.
If you guys haven't quite
Here it
seen
is,
this
here it
title
is.
just yet,
This is the one that I'm talking about.
yeah, this is basically called it's basically called the Dungeon of Black Company.
Yeah, the Dungeon of Black Company. This one is actually really, really. This one is actually really funny, and I feel like does
Now,
have...
without spoiling, we can probably, without spoiling, because both of us actually got the chance to see it.
So that does have that...
That funky feeling.
Yeah, that does have that funky feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. So basically, if you guys haven't gotten the chance to see Dungeon Black Company, it's really funny.
It is kind of funny.
Basically, with the main character himself,
He's
you already know he's pretty much like rich tycoon,
yeah, but he's
figure guy.
He's also the kind of guy who like rather than like be your friend, he's literally like the kind of dude who would like
He would rather just laugh and just
or or just like use you for something. He'd be like, yeah, hand me $20, yeah, I'm gonna go buy you a sandwich, and he ends up buying himself more money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so you kind of like. You kind of get this, but they don't necessarily paint him as he's not a bad person.
No, not really.
It's just that he's not great at interaction with people, and he's not great at like.
He's not really the best socialite if you think about it.
Yeah, he's more business tycoon type fellow, right, dude?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
he's pretty much like, how can I put it? Because I know there's a lot of people that are kind of like him. I'm like the richest guy in the world. I got all this money. And
he's like, okay. So this is
I
a
never
joke.
have to work a 9 to 5 again.
Okay, so dude, this is a joke. He is more like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
He's Jeff Bezos kind of guy. He loves money, but he's not really great social interaction. Kind of walk up to that. He's not that guy who walk up the street and say, "Hey, could I borrow $5?" You know, he's like, no. He's like, this is my $5. I'm gonna use you to work. He's like, I'm gonna hire you. You can work for me, and I'm not gonna give you benefits. I'm gonna make you work in the crappiest conditions. Yeah, no vacation time, no benefits, no bathroom breaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the worst part is like, hey boss, can I have a raise?
He gives you like 2 cents.
Exactly.
Right, Dante?
That sucks. That's terrible.
So anyway, so that's the only show I can think of, Dante, that's like that. But so dude, continue on with what you were talking with what you're saying. You're saying the shows that he was using. We got a little off track there, dude.
Yeah, well, off track is always fun.
But no, that still has to do with our topic, though, technically.
Yeah, definitely.
That is one of the shows that that's the only show I could come up with, dude. That's
right,
like that.
with Dungeon of Black Company.
Yeah, Dungeon of Black. Go check that one out if you guys haven't. That one is
definitely.
The minute I started watching that one, I busted out laughing. It was funny.
It was just hilarious, wasn't it?
Yep.
But yeah, guys, definitely get the chance.
Yeah, I was literally Dante. So when the main character when he first like goes in that other dimension, right? I'm sitting there like,
Finish him.
oh whoops! Oh, that too. I was doing that,
yeah,
but I was also laughing. Where's the? There it is.
Yep.
I was literally doing that the whole entire time.
I know, right? You're literally just laughing.
Yeah, I'm sitting there evilly laughing with the pyramid fingers, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely, guys, if you get a chance, definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably, I'm pretty much gonna say that in review to slapstick comedy,
Yeah.
you can pretty much find it anywhere in like. Okay, let me give you another example.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah, well, okay, so Deadpool is slapstick, but also Deadpool is really dirty humor. That's fourth wall break.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic in and of
that's,
itself.
That's
right
a
there.
whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms you opened up.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here going, every time I watch Deadpool.
I know, right? It's just hilarious.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, Deadpool slapstick comedy.
And actually,
it's just like.
Actually, so when it comes to Deadpool, Dante, I feel like I should play this because this is how I feel. I feel like it's like.
In terms of what you're looking for.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like well, so if you're relating it to, or if you're talking about just comedy in general, right? That's Deadpool. I feel like he grants your wish. Like he's gonna say something terrible and dirty, but you're just kind of waiting for him to. Yeah, you're waiting for him to say it.
You're really just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Deadpool's a different story because he's known for it, and also when he says it, like nobody's gonna fuck him up. It's the other way around. He usually kicks their ass.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably have to change the.
We might have to beep some of that out.
Well, that's if we can, but if not, we can always.
You can add the sound effect, the oof sound. We should have that in there.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it when we come to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
eventually we'll just bleep that.
but yeah,
out.
so that's the difference. That's the big difference with Deadpool's comedy versus like your slapstick anime comedy is that normally the guy getting his ass kicked, most of the time it's the dude getting his ass kicked. Most of the time in anime, is usually the one who's not very happy or is just the kind of always the one who always gets blamed for everything. I feel like it's a common trend in comedy anime. They're just like, they just pick a character like, oh, we're going to just blame you for everything.
It's either the main MC or like the main supporting MC.
Which I feel like it shouldn't be. There should be a change in there. Like if you're going to, so one thing, guys, pointing fingers is bad. Don't ever point fingers at people. That's bad.
Because the minute you do that, there's always like 9 or 10.
But also back to what you were saying about slapstick comedy. For good slapstick comedy, there has to be balance. Like, okay, imagine this. Can you imagine if the Three Stooges, right, instead of all three of them whacking each other with stuff and sawing people on the head and all that stuff. Can you imagine if the two Stooges just picked Curly and they just started wailing on him, right? Just every time something happened, like, you idiot, you fool, you dumbass, you know, and they just go whacked him, and in every scene it was always him getting hit. Can you imagine that? Like that wouldn't be very funny. It would be kind of
because
messed up.
Now it just turns into like downright abuse.
Exactly, it's just like downright abusive / just like ganging up on someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean you don't really have any like what is the word I'm looking for? Context
balance?
or context or balance or basically something that kind of follows up.
And like, okay, so look, guys, I can understand people say, hey, look, you can't hit a girl.
You can't. You're not even supposed to do that.
I get it, right? But for the sake of balance, right, there have been shows and there have been comedy sticks where they do hit women and they're not. It's not. No one's yelling at you or saying, "Oh, you're being sexist or you're smacking a girl or whatever. You're not supposed to do." But there have been cases where they have done it and it hasn't. No one's seriously gotten injured. It didn't translate. But on the other hand, right, I'm gonna put this out there too. You shouldn't always whack the poor MC, right? No MC deserves to get whacked every dang time he walks in on a poor chick. You know?
Well, all I can say that in all fairness and not to get
make it balanced. Let's put it that way. Balance. Symmetry is key.
Not only that, also make it balanced, but also kind of incorporate it into the story where it doesn't feel like it's like one-sided kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Don't make it so one-sided.
Yeah. That's basically what we're trying to portray here, so we don't come off as like, oh, you guys said this, oh, you guys said that, because there's always some individuals that'll pretty much be like,
what's up your butt?
True.
Pretty much.
Yeah, or you might have other individuals who are just sitting there like, they're just sitting there like, and they're laughing the entire time. Like someone's getting their ass kicked and they're all bloody and beaten up, right? And the guy on the other side is like,
just laughing.
Laughing his butt off, and you're like, why? That's not funny. Like the MC is like seriously getting his butt kicked.
Yeah, but the dude's bleeding.
Yeah,
so.
It's like the dude got slammed through like 6 windows, a mountaintop, and like probably like 19 car windows, and you're sitting there like, you know,
when it comes
just for looking at one pair of undies, and you're like, really? Is that really necessary? Like, did you have to go Dragon Ball Z on his ass looking at underwear?
I know you just pretty much basically powered up and just finished them.
Yeah, it's
kind of like just
finish him.
Well, no, it's more like a combo of so it's more like a combo between. Whoops! Oh, you can't do that. Darn it!
They'll just turn it off.
So it's more of a combo between this, right, and then all of a sudden.
And then you just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much
exactly.
what you did.
It's terrible. And then of course you got those. You got some of the audience members who are like. And then,
Right, and of course while others are like. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. Not everybody's gonna receive it differently.
Yeah,
well, receive it the same.
I feel like I'm more the kind of person, Dante, who's like most of the time doing this.
Yeah, that's pretty much you in a nutshell most of the time.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Most of the time. No, there are some times where like when I'm watching slapstick comedy, right? I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that, right?
You're not.
I'm sometimes. Sometimes I'm sitting there.
Just laughing.
Yeah, laughing. Yeah.
And
or I might be going.
Finish him.
Sometimes. So you know.
Yeah. If he deserves it, then he knows what he did.
Or if it's like a situation where like if you so martial arts anime, Dante, when I'm watching a if it's martial arts and it's slapstick, most of the time I'm like.
Finish him.
Right.
Because it's fun, you know. But if it's like something else, I might not be so, you know. But then well, how about you, dude? Okay, let me ask you. Have you ever? Let me ask you something.
No, you let me ask you.
What do you like, Dante, with certain slapstick comedy? What's your take?
All right. So if it was my take, I would probably say that in terms of slapstick comedy, yes, I like me a good laugh.
Yeah, but like, where are you? Where do you sit? Because you said you like a good laugh, but where do you sit with?
I would probably say, as long as it's like, incorporated in some, like some kind of sequence or plot or anything like that. Yeah, I'm all for it.
But are you the kind of guy who's sitting there?
Oh yeah,
every time.
If it's hilarious, I'm gonna be on the floor.
So you're not doing the other thing. You're not sitting there crying your eyes out.
No, I'm not crying my eyes out. And
okay.
It's not like I'm just like. No, dude, that's not me.
You're not doing that, okay?
Nah. Yeah, if I like it, I'm just gonna applaud.
Yeah, I mean, you could be doing that, or you could be sitting there dancing in your seat, like.
Just real funky.
Yeah, you could be getting funky with it. So
yeah, that's basically where I'm coming from when it comes to like slapstick comedy. I mean, as long as it's like used wholesomely and placed wholesome. Right.
Sounds like food.
I know, wholesomely.
Wholesome.
well,
getting your whole foods in, your whole laughs in.
Well, Americans, that is the new word for the day, wholesomely.
Wholesomely.
So yeah, that's basically if it's placed like wholesomely and works well, then I'm all for it. So I would probably say, yeah, just place it right, and I'm all good. So how are you? You're not for, but you're not against. You're like I'm not aggressively.
Yeah, you're not aggressive.
I'm not aggressively condoning it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not.
You're not saying don't do it.
just as long as you know where you can put it. Just as long as it's like tasteful.
I wouldn't say I'm fully against it. There are times where I don't like how much of it they use. But like there are times where
just don't make it the vocal point of the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Like spread it out.
Yeah. Don't make it the main like plot point of the story where like you're getting.
Because if you use it for too long and it ends up drying out, then your anime title is gonna be like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty boring.
That's gonna be your end result.
The other thing too is that it gets a little. What's the word for it? I would say boring, but there's more to it than just boring. It gets a little kind of. I'm trying to think of a word for it.
It gets either dull or
you get tired of it after a while. There's something to where like
oversaturated.
You just can't watch it. Like that was what happened with me and Yuki Holder. Remember how I told you about Yuki Holder where remember where I told you like the whole immortal thing, like the slapstick bothered me a little bit, but the worst part of the story was the whole being immortal. Because I was like, after a while, you're like, what is the point? Like, if you can't die, you could just rule the world. Like, who cares if you got stabbed in the gut 6 million times? You could literally just heal up the next day and just like, okay, I'm killing my mother, I'm gonna suck her blood, take her powers, rule the world, and then I'm just gonna kill everybody. You're like, you don't need a plot point at that point. Like, if you're immortal, hell, you can do whatever you want. You could jump off the Empire State Building.
And still be alive.
Yeah, you can even, look, dude, it's like, if you're immortal, you'd be like,
finish him.
And then at the end of it, you'd be like,
basically, that's
yeah, exactly. No one can stop you. So,
Yeah, so that's
you be like, if someone asks you if you're immortal, be like,
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's the but yeah. Like, hey, dude, do you kill people?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, do you drink blood?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It's funny.
But all right. So all in all, funny or cool?
Dude, better one. Do you drink people?
Yeah, I do.
I know, right? Oh, we're gonna have so much fun with these buttons.
Yeah.
All right, so dude, I'm okay. All in all, funny or cruel, where is your final standpoint on slapstick comedy?
I mean, so let me put it to you this way. Like, I don't mind slapstick comedy if it's used in a way where it doesn't make you like want to rip someone's head off, or if it doesn't make you want to like bawl your eyes out, right? Because there are shows where like you will literally bawl. Like, okay, good example. Good example would be
July and April.
Yes, July and April. So the use of slapstick comedy in that really made you cry because you kind of understood what the character had already gone through, but then also what he goes through again, all over again for the sake of music. And you're like, this is like really wrong, but also you're like, in a way, you're like, he needs to kind of face up to what to what happened to him, right, in some way, and kind of get over it. But you're also like, this is also really bad because you're putting this guy through a horrible situation.
The type of slapstick comedy that happens in there, it's not really ha-ha funny. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, it is dark, very dark. And so it's like, I'm not against slapstick comedy, but I'm also not for it either because it depends on how it's used. I'm kind of neutral because there are times where I'll laugh my ass off if the comedy's done pretty well.
Right.
One of the things I do like, however, with the slapstick comedy anime in some cases is the use of the words, the dialogue. So, for example, good example, Konosuba, right? You know how they're always they're always kind of playing a nasty joke on someone, or someone's getting eaten by a frog, or something terrible is happening, right? In that one, it's not so much eaten by a frog. That was funny. It's not so much the slapstick that cracks me up. It's the actual dialogue. The dialogue to the writing to the show is done so well that the dialogue is absolutely hilarious. Now, that same writer wrote that Dispatch show, which I did not care for at all. Like, I just could not watch that one. Some people said it was really funny. Some people just didn't like it. I was one of the ones that I just didn't care for it. So I skipped out on it. I didn't even bother to. They watched like one episode. I'm like, nope, not for me. I was like, this
bypass.
I was like, I'd rather watch Konosuba than watch that one. So that's what I did. I ended up watching Konosuba. And Konosuba, the dialogue was what really... So that's sometimes what gets me is the dialogue. The dialogue... Good character dialogue will make you bust out. Like, it'll make you fall on the floor and crack up laughing so hard that, you will bust a gut. So.
Yeah. But, I just pretty much like you said, like, having that total balance between slapstick comedy, plots, characters. If you got them all lined up, like, it's almost like the stars. If you have them all
like the planets.
I know, right? The stars align.
Yeah. And then, of course, you also get those other shows where you feel like you're on the forest moon of Endor with a bunch of hairy, nasty people.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I had to make a Star Wars joke in there somewhere.
Right?
Somehow I don't think somehow in that one, Dante, I don't think we're gonna get anyone doing that one. I don't think anyone's gonna clap for that one.
Yeah. Other times you're just gonna hear. Yeah.
Probably that's probably what our audience is gonna react. But no, dude.
It depends on who you send it to.
So, dude, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think my stance on slapstick comedy is bad?
No, I don't think your stance on slapstick comedy is bad. I think it's pretty much it's pretty much neutral, kind of like the same way that I kind of like had my stance towards slapstick comedy. All I can say again one more time, and we're not gonna do it anymore. But just make sure that it's like conveniently placed. Has like some sort of progression afterwards.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this in a simple fact. Okay, when you have balance, you get this.
And when you don't have balance, you get this.
Yeah, when you don't have balance, you get people doing this.
So ultimately,
Exactly.
guys, all we can say is have balance.
Yes, balance is key. Symmetry. Listen to Death the Kid. Symmetry is key. Everything must be aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So guys. On that note, that'll pretty much wrap up what slapstick comedy is, our thoughts on it, and what can be done to improve it.
Well, we should clarify. Slapstick comedy in anime.
In anime, yes.
Slapstick comedy is different in different stuff. So in cartoons, it's way different. Slapstick comedy is completely different in Tom and Jerry and other. And I should specify that slapstick comedy in Tom and Jerry is very different from the kind of slapstick comedy you'll see in some anime and some other shows because of the seriousness of the show. Like anime has a more serious tone to some of the, not every anime, but a lot of the anime shows that you see are a more serious tone, or it's a more kind of a, I hate to say this, but I don't know if this is the right term to put this, but it's a more realistic type of art design, I guess. The artwork and the
emotional piece.
Yeah, the emotional piece is more realistic, so it kind of sucks you in more, and you tend to care for your characters
a little more invested.
Exactly.
Into the show.
Exactly. So that's why I say your comedy style is different for cartoons rather than your anime. So be careful if you're a writer out there, especially a new writer, and you're writing a comedy anime and you're not sure how to approach it. Just be careful, because that can make or break.
Maybe take some notes. Like really dig into what your audience might
Maybe
think what they might want.
Maybe even watch some older director, someone who's done it well before, someone who's incorporated it with good balance.
Like do some game tape or something.
Or maybe start a comedy show. A comedy show, that's terrible.
Anyway, guys, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for us on this particular episode.
I think we're gonna have to
Finish him.
or finish it now.
Finish it,
yeah.
pretty much. So, on that note, guys, again, be cool to each other, be awesome to each other, and stay nerdy.
Yep. Woo! We did it! We're done!
Yeah,
Peace.
we finally did. Later, guys.